Hi, I'm Dan Lowery. This is the second of 7 sessions altogether about the Beatitudes. The Beatitudes as they're given to us in chapter 5 of Matthew's Gospel. Next time we'll begin looking at the Beatitudes themselves, but today let's ground ourselves in the perspective of the Beatitudes that we've inherited, that the church has inherited from the early church fathers, those deeply spiritual men, those great thinkers, who provided such a foundation from the church from the end of the 1st century through the beginning of the 7th century. 4 insights about the Beatitudes from the early church fathers. First, John Chrysostom, Augustine, and the other early church fathers, they tended to see the Beatitudes as a progression. One beatitude provided a foundation for the next. One beatitude was built on the Beatitudes that preceded it. They built one upon the other, and as a result, they provided a template for the life of discipleship. We progress in the life of discipleship. A second insight: the Beatitudes are dependent on gifts. We are invited into the life of discipleship by God. So we are invited. The Beatitudes are provided to us as a gift. And we are also promised the continuing graces that we need to progress in the life of discipleship. So it's all about gift. It's all about God's grace. A third insight: yes, it's true. It's all about gift. It's all about grace. But the early church fathers had a very robust understanding of the virtues. At a very simple level, we can think of the virtues as good habits, but they're more than that. It's entering deeply into the life of discipleship. We are called to respond to God's gifts. We are called to respond to God's graces. So we have a job to do. We have a responsibility to respond as God would have us respond. We have a responsibility to participate in the development of these virtues in our life. One last insight from the early church fathers, a fourth insight: the Beatitudes aren't optional. They're not just for the super saints among us. They weren't just for the desert fathers in the days of the early church fathers. They're for everyone. It is, in fact, the Beatitudes are, in fact, what it means to be a disciple. We are to be the light to the world. In the words of the Second Vatican Council, we are all called to holiness. And so, next time when we gather, we'll begin to look at the first 2 of the Beatitudes. What does it mean to be poor in spirit? What does it mean to mourn? We'll see you next time.